This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in California. I'm here with Get Visible. Since 2005, they have collaborated with clients to fill their pipeline with better customers by providing them with eye-catching websites, search engine and social media visibility, and an industry-leading reputation. I'm joined with the co-founder, Jason. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Awesome to be here. Looking forward to talking to you.
Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated in accounting at Yeshiva University. You went on to study law at Fordham University of Law. I mean, be it a CPA, magazine subscriptions, e-commerce shopping, you name it, you've always been kind of an entrepreneur. This story goes back really to 1999 when a boss and employee met. You were a CPA/lawyer. Together you formed a team that kind of worked through the night to kind of serve others at that time. Share with me in your words, what got you here today as far as serving others?
So when I finished law school and got sworn in as a lawyer, I stood in the court and I said, I don't think I want to do this right now yet. I had just gotten married. We were going to move to LA in a year. So I decided to try and start a business online. And within a couple of years, I got funded from a big incubator in New York that had put like a $40 million war chest together. And we opened up an office. I had already moved to LA. And one of the first guys I hired was 18 years old. He put himself through college working for me. And he had then gone to another job. He called me in like early 2000s and he said, I have an idea that we should open up an agency and offer ranking services, just Google rankings. And I said, let's try it. You keep your day job. I'm still running my business. We'll try it out. I had bought a software company along the way to build e-commerce websites. I still own that. It's called the Adricom, a piece of that. And what happened was for a year, we wouldn't talk in the day and only at night. And I would try to hustle and get people to sign up for search engine ranking services. And after about a year, we had 6 clients. It was enough that he could support himself and quit his job. And so the deal was, I'm going to bring in the business. He's going to work on the clients. And we started with 1 employee like a year later, and now we're up to 18 people. It's pretty wild.
That is such a cool story. I love it. I mean, the digital world is the world that businesses are found. Do you find that most professionals are great at what they do, but they really do not understand the world of marketing what they do? Is that what you have experienced?
Yeah, it's sort of like this. I remember in the early days of my first e-commerce venture and the selling of all things magazine subscriptions. And I would do all the marketing work myself to grow the business. The late nights, spinning my wheels, feeling overwhelmed, frustrated as competitors either had more money and they would just, you do whatever you can. And then you sort of forget, like, let's say you're a lawyer, you forget, I'm really a good lawyer. Why do I also have to be a great marketer? Why do I have to be a great salesperson? Let me be really good at what I do, and let me bring in other people to take the load off my shoulders. And that's how Get Visible originally started, because I realized that if we associate with people who are really good at what they do, and we say to them, hey, look, you can continue being excellent at what you do. We're excellent at what we do. It creates a joint venture mentality. And we don't have salespeople. We don't have account reps. Our agency was built very differently. We sometimes have what we call an all hands on deck meeting, and we'll have 3 or 4 people on a meeting because each person who's doing the work is on the meeting. So the clients are happy because they're dealing with domain level experts at each level of service, as opposed to talking to an account rep who doesn't really do the work and is just there to make them feel good.
True collaboration, obviously. I mean, the process of understanding how to market yourself begins with education. I mean, with your nearly 2 decades of experience, is education what you provide to your clients so that they know even what is possible?
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that, because we were talking about that this morning in a CEO think tank that I'm part of. Not to make it sound fancy, I pay for it, so it's good. It's good mentorship. And the question was, what do you do with your kids as they grow up? And in terms of money, do you give them money? Do you buy them a house or make a fund for tuition or things like that? And that was really the answer that came in the meeting was, you want your kids to be able to dream more and not feel limited by finances, for example, or where they have to live. And you want them to be able to achieve more. So that flows into what we do, which is our best clients are the ones that understand a lot of what we do.
Yeah.
Because if they understand what we're doing, then they can figure out with their own resources where they could supplement and do things that makes our job not just easier, but better, and it produces the best results.
That is excellent. I mean, marketing has many moving pieces and it is far more complex than most people realize. Why is the do-it-yourself approach not only probably a bad idea, but a dangerous and probably costly one?
Think of it like this. You're an attorney or you're a business owner. Let's not even go to attorneys or doctors. And at some point, you have to value your time for $400 an hour, $500, $200. You figure out what that value is for an hour of your time. And you say, well, is it worth it? Let's say it's $500. Is it worth it for me to spend that $500 writing an article for my blog or doing some amount of marketing work that I could pay someone $100 or even $200 an hour to do, where that's all that they do? I'm never going to be on their level if I'm practicing law or doing medicine. So what's the point of doing it yourself when that's taking you away from what you're best at doing?
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, so the sink or swim approach can wipe out any market budget with little results. It can also wipe out your valuable time. How can companies like yourself fill pipelines with more leads and better clients and still keep within a budget? I mean, are you providing a strategy that is kind of customized to that exact business?
Right. So first of all, absolutely. Everything we do is customized to the business. So having domain expertise in a particular industry is not really a challenge because technically if I take on one company in an industry, I can't take on their competitor with a straight face. So the way that you want to keep the budgets in line is, first of all, we don't hire all the middle layers. Like I said, we don't have account reps and salespeople. So our business is derived by relationship and referral. And so therefore, we don't have to pass that cost on in higher prices. Number one, we run a lean ship. That's number two. We educate clients on things that they can do at a lower cost so that we don't have to be paid to do them for them. Or sometimes we have to hire outsiders to do that work too. So if the clients have that sort of joint venture mentality that we're in this intimately together to accomplish the task, then we can stay within a budget that works.
That's excellent. I mean, let's get into a few of the services of what you provide. In 2009 actually marked the official death of the number one must-have marketing tool, and that was the Yellow Pages. I'm actually old enough to remember when that was really critical. We're now just a dozen years later, and the must-have today is probably a website. Is that the shingle that we now hang so that we can start our journey to be visible?
Sure. I think about it like this. A website can be a calling card at the lowest basic level, but it can transact business without you even having to pick up the phone and answer a message or talk to somebody if it's that sophisticated. And a website should address three things. What is it that you do? Who are you specialized in working with? And why should people believe that you're going to be better than somebody else? And so once you accomplish that, then you've got a killer website. Obviously, it should look good. It should load fast. It should work on mobile phone and things like that. So that's the important part of a website.
I mean, obviously, I can't overemphasize the importance of a website, and yet many risk that by attempting to kind of do it themselves. Maybe they hire a relative or a friend. Obviously, professional like yourself, a website's more than just aesthetics. It's more than just looking good. This really is, it can be, like you say, as simple as that, but it can also be quite sophisticated for those folks that need that as well.
100%. And I think that the technology you choose these days, most of the companies that we work with will do WordPress, because if you fire me, like I built a fire me, and you can find someone very quickly to replace me. So you don't want to bury yourself, tie yourself too closely to somebody that you have no control. And if you're using a WordPress system, it functions really well for search engine optimization purposes, which sort of leads to the next service that we do. And it's very easy to create a website experience that is not just fast and friendly and intuitive, but it's got all the technology under the hood that enables you to maximize your spend on what you invest.
Interesting. So once you have a website that is designed, user interface looks great, that helps you stand out. But really the real work now begins, like you say, to get visible. This is where you collaborate and combine many digital marketing components, from social media to SEO to LinkedIn. In marketing, is there a magic bullet, or do you need a team who really understands quite a few things to come together?
The first question you want to ask when you go into digital marketing is, where's my audience? And the audience can be the customer. It can also be the referral, the source, the referral source. So if you're launching something new to the market that no one is looking for, then search engines is not the place to be. And then you got to go to Facebook ads or some type of interrupting ad in order to get in front of people that fit the demographic you're targeting. So you might have an awesome drug for Alzheimer's as an example, but if people don't know, if the kids of the parents that have Alzheimer's don't know that such a thing exists, or that, the point is you have to find the channel. So it could be an ad on Google, it could be a ranking on Google, it could be an ad on Facebook, it could be building popularity with TikTok or a Facebook channel and just growing your fan base. It could be outreach on LinkedIn. It just depends where you're going to find the most economic way to reach the people that either buy or refer you.
So in life, it's know thyself is wisdom, but in business, it's know thy customer and where to find them. That's very important. I mean, in 2004, Facebook originally began as a way to connect students. Then by 2016 was open to the public. For many of us, I mean, Facebook was our original introduction to social media. Is social media marketing still confusing for many professionals out there? And can you help them navigate through that and see how it'll benefit them?
I think the challenge with social media, when you talk about organic, which means like creating a channel and building a fan base, it's very hard to measure the monetization of that channel unless it's totally commercial and you're putting out like an influencer who will post a picture of a pocketbook and people will buy it. You can measure that. But most of social media is branding, like having a picture of a Rolex brand at the US Open. So you're investing in social media because it complements everything else that you do, like putting your name on a stadium. Can you really monetize a stadium, spending $20 million at a stadium? No, but in the context of a brand, you see that these pieces of the puzzle make the brand stronger and better and more recognizable. So social media as well, is there's so many channels. How do you decide? Should you be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest? It's hard to figure out. So you go back to the first question is, where's my client? Where's my referral source? Let me go there.
You guys really drill into that on the front end. Once you got that down, then you can create the strategy. So be it organic or paid, you're able to help folks. Although Facebook was most of our initial experience with social media, it probably is LinkedIn where most business people end up, like myself. Why is a strategy with LinkedIn vital to your arsenal of what you provide?
Because LinkedIn gives you a one-to-one messaging capability on a sophisticated level. I think that may be how you and I actually met for the first time. And you can develop a relationship with somebody through LinkedIn, and then you can move off the platform if you want to. Yeah. Move to email, move to phone, move to a live meeting, move to texting. But LinkedIn gives you a way to, first of all, you see data metrics about the people that you're contacting, and they can look you up and see. What a lot of people don't do on LinkedIn is post the things that they're publishing. So you can put videos on there, you can put PowerPoints, you can put other presentations, articles, blogs, have a newsletter. So LinkedIn is a great way to grow a Rolodex that you didn't have 20 years ago.
Absolutely. We're talking 11,000 followers I see out there. People like you and myself have. That's powerful to be able to connect with so many people. As I said before, in business, we live in a digital world, and our digital reputation can make us or break us. Why is reputation management an important part of the marketing arsenal you provide for folks as well?
It's sort of the same thing. People want to know who they're going into business with or who they're buying from. And reviews, reputation, those are big factors even on rankings on Google, because Google wants to know what people say about you. Are you worthy? And so if someone types in your name and they go to the first page of Google and they see some nasty things about you, it's going to hurt you. And if they type in your brand, same thing. So owning that first page of Google is a big deal. And that also extends to your Google business profile. That's sort of, we call it SEO, but that's a reputation branding element too. So I think that it's sort of like the good housekeeping seal of approval, which may not mean anything to young people these days. But that's what a Google page should be for people. And it's not just Google, it's Bing, it's your YouTube page with the videos that you put out there. Anything that's in the digital marketplace that reflects on your brand, you should take care of.
Definitely protecting your name, protecting your brand. Before we let you go today, who are some of the professionals that you can help, that you have helped in the past, that you line up with? It's a great fit. And how do they get started?
Right. So we work with small and large. I mean, I love, if I have to name drop, I'll mention names like Jacoby and Myers or Westfield Mall or Arbonne, huge company in the health and beauty. So I can do the big names. I can give you the University of Utah, that we're turning them into one of the top centers in the world for heart disease. For one of their divisions there, it's a lab that's doing record-breaking work. So the idea is that even if you're a solo practitioner lawyer and you just have a local practice, or you're a doctor, we can work with you too, because the mechanics are the same. It's just a question of scope and scale.
Interesting. Jason, you two founders met and worked through the night in the early days, realizing businesses were all repeating the same phrase, "I need more clients," which became a best-selling book for you. You now lead clients out of the dark and confusion of marketing themselves, and these clients now stick with you, I mean, literally for years. You attract innovators who also dream about doing things better. Is this rewarding work for you guys?
Absolutely. It's something I spoke about this weekend with my parents. I was in New York with one of my kids, and he's asking me how all my different friends are doing 30 years after graduating college, right? More than 30 years. We're both getting old, right? And the fact is, I chose a career path different than what law would have been or accounting would have been, that puts me in touch with many more business owners and professionals and healthcare providers, and even nonprofits, and helping them to, like we said earlier, dream big, do more than they expected. I think, I'm not trying to dramatize this, but the fact of the matter is, I get a really good feeling helping somebody to take an idea to fruition online, getting them leads. I mean, it's sort of a pedestrian thing, but the fact of the matter is, it's helping them do more with their careers. So that's gratifying. And the most gratifying is getting an email from a client who says to me, "I love your team. They're so nice. They're so responsive. They're responsible." And even this morning, one of our clients who has a new SaaS platform, he's been with us for a couple of years, he told the other CEOs, he goes, "The reason I like Jason the most is because I think he's a real person and he has real people working for him." So what more can you ask, right?
Nope. Definitely nothing more tragic than a great professional out there that the world never knows about and they don't stay in business. That's one of the worst things I hate to see. So I'm glad for the services you provide for many folks out there in companies. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you can see all the services they provide. I mean, check out the reviews and you're going to see why their client retention rates are insane. I mean, these are folks that stay with their team because they understand the value they bring to the table, not today, but every day and consistently. Digital marketing, I mean, it's not easy, honestly. They have a 14-step roadmap that is a proven success strategy to help you navigate through that. Check out their portfolio, case studies. You're going to see some real results. Then reach out today and quit playing the waiting game. Be number one online and get visible. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.